wow, infected, I'm back, resurrected, whole life, I remember it fondly. Watch me walk like a zombie. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Zombie, zombie, zombie. We animated. Back from the dead. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Zombie, zombie, zombie. We animated. Back from the dead. Watch me walk, watch me walk, watch me walk.
Greetings, and welcome to What I Play. This week we're taking a look at two different games, Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Both games were developed and produced by Valve Software, utilizing the Source engine. The Left 4 Dead series best falls into the zombie survival and first-person shooter categories. The objective is to survive as you travel from location to location, trying to find CEDA, the Civil Emergency and Defense Agency. At the same time, you're trying to avoid joining the ranks of the infected. So, let's start with Left 4 Dead 1. In the first game you play as one of four survivors: Bill, Francis, Lewis, and Zoe. Each has their own personalities and dialogue, but in terms of gameplay, they're all identical. In order to avoid dying at the hands of the infected, you have a handful of weapons at your disposal. These include pistols and various types of rifles and shotguns. In addition, you have throwable type items like Molotovs and pipe bombs, as well as health items like med packs and painkillers. Separate from the swarms of common infected that you have to deal with, there are also special enemies that occasionally appear. These mutated zombies have unique abilities and characteristics. To start with, you have the Boomer. The Boomer's special ability is a puking attack. If it makes contact with a survivor, not only does it disrupt their vision, it also attracts the infected horde. In addition, the Boomer explodes when killed like a bloody piñata. Next, we have the Smoker, a kind of long-range type. Typically sticking to rooftops, he's able to stretch his tongue great distances, entangling survivors and dragging them back towards him. The Hunter is the epitome of in-your-face, as he leaps large distances to tackle survivors to the ground and rips them apart. If you can call the previous three specials standard, the next two certainly aren't. The Witch is more or less an obstacle special. She sits around crying and is only a problem if provoked by flashlights, gunfire, or getting too close to her. She seems meek while crying, but once startled, she screams loudly and chases down the players with murderous intent. Finally, the Tank. Sometimes called the Boss Special. This guy is big and freaking scary. How big and scary? This big and scary.
Okay, you distracted.
The levels in Left 4 Dead are called campaigns, each divided into multiple chapters. These campaigns are ordered with the end sequence of each one, leading into the opening sequence of the next. This provides a kind of plot tying the levels together. The campaigns take place in a variety of locales: a farm, a hospital, a highway, and an airport. Left 4 Dead has four different game types. The campaigns can be played in either single-player or four-player co-op mode. First, it has you playing on one of two four-player teams. The teams alternate as survivors or infected between each round. Survival. Waves and waves of infected rain down on you until you're all dead. How long can you last? For Left 4 Dead 2, we're going to talk about what's changed and also what's been added. First, there's a new cast of characters: Coach, Ellis, Nick, and Rochelle. Like before, everyone has their own dialogue, though this time it seems the humor ratio is a bit higher. The arsenal of Left 4 Dead 2 is increased from a mere 8 weapons up to 30. New rifles, shotguns, and even pistols are added to the group. Oh yeah, and there's a grenade launcher. Bile jars, adrenaline shots, alternative ammunition types, and laser sights have all been added to the mix. But quite possibly the most important additions are the melee weapons. These up-close and personal weapons range from the simple, such as a baseball bat or axe, to the more absurd, like a frying pan or chainsaw. 3 new specials have been introduced into Left 4 Dead 2. The Charger. It's pretty much in the name. He enthusiastically runs at you, knocking other people out of the way, and if he grabs you, proceeds to beat you against the pavement. The jockey is probably the easiest to notice, with its maniacal laugh and jumpy behavior. Literally, he jumps on your back and rides you like a thoroughbred. The spitter is quite possibly the most disgusting special invented. Just take a moment and marvel at the hideous appearance of this sagging old hag with her gaping, bloody maw. And to top things off, she spits acidic goo at you. The witch returns with new characteristics. In the previous game, she simply sat around and cried. In Left 4 Dead 2, she occasionally can be found wandering, making it more challenging to avoid her. New campaigns mean new locales, everything from a typical swamp, suburban malls, and even a creepy carnival. These environments are more detailed and rich because of the advancements in the Source engine. All of the original game modes return with 3 new variants. Scavenge is a versus mode, where the survivors try and collect gas cans, and the opposing infected try and stop them. Mutation is a game that changes weekly, modifying the rules or gameplay aspects in order to give players a fresh take on the standard game. These changes can include everybody spawning with an M60 machine gun with unlimited ammo, or all specials spawning as tanks. And realism. Realism is a pain in the ass. And since I can't just leave it there, this mode removes every visual assistant that is normally present. And by that I mean the highlights that surround items and players when they are behind walls, as well as the tooltips that direct you to special things like ammo piles and weapons are gone. Basically, all warnings that would normally help you are no longer there. My overall thoughts of Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 are that both games are exceptional. It's one of those games that you can go back and play over and over and over again. It's surprising how you can take different routes or be confronted by different specials, and it changes the whole dynamic of the game. Even though the Left 4 Dead series can be played as a single-player game, it's much more fun to play with other people. Just the interaction between you and the other players, or even another player, makes the game that much more interesting, that much more in-depth. Not having to rely on the artificial intelligence to accomplish a task, and instead actually be able to communicate with another person and strategize. That's actually a pretty cool thing. Sometimes you might not always get along with the other players, though.
Bullet on my pistol.
You can't in here. Oh god, you can! Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's review. Please leave your comments down below, and I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week on Reach. You're not here.
Oh god, smoke!
Into the fire!
Oh, jockey, I'm jockey.
This is going less than well.
You like to heal? You can do that right now. Duck in the face, duck in the face. Oh god, duck in the face.
There we go.
Sweet fucking monkeys. What the shit?
Run for it. Hey, y'all look really cold.
From the dead.
Oh, never did I gotta do.